Hello and welcome to Soap Goes to the Oscars. This is episode 120. I'm recording on November 1st, 2025, and I just finished watching the movie. What is the movie, you ask? It was How Green Was My Valley, which is the winner of the 1941 Oscars. Now, just to review a few things. So the name of the category went through some changes over the years from 1928 to the 1929 Oscars, or 1927 to 1929. It was called Outstanding Picture. Then from 1929 through 1940, it was called Outstanding Production. And then 1941, they changed it to Outstanding Motion Picture. That only lasted for 2 years or 3 years, I guess, through the 1943 Oscars. And then it was changed to Best Motion Picture, eventually Best Picture. This one was originally I had saved it on YouTube TV, but when I went to watch it, it had expired. It was no longer available. So I had also found it on just regular YouTube, so it was still available there. So it was free. And let's see. So that means this round, the average cost of movies was $3.15, total of $31.45. Total spent to date is $298.57, with an average spent of $2.53 per movie. Throw on the DVD player I bought, and that's $330.63 with an average of $278. Not bad all around. I have watched 12,649 minutes of movies during this little experiment, which is 210 hours and 49 minutes, or 8.78 days worth of movies. This, I probably said it in the first episode of this round, but the ceremony for this year of Oscars took place on February 26th, 1942. Now let's see, what was my average rating here? Average rating of 3 for all the movies. Top ones being 5 for Citizen Kane and 4 for Blossoms in the Dust, which was a surprise one. This round took me 35 days to finish. Started on September 27th, 2025, finished on November 1st, 2025. That's the best I've done since the 1937 Oscars, which was 29 days. 38 Oscars took me 72, 39, 48, 40, 44 days. So this was not bad. I had a couple of weekends where I watched 2 movies, I think. And we're slowly getting to the 5 movies a year Oscars. So looking forward to that. And according to my little tracker here, if I continue at my current pace, I will finish approximately on July 26, 2036. Got to speed it up. All right, let's get into this one. How Green Was My Valley is a 1941 American drama film directed by John Ford, adapted by Philip Dunn from the 1939 novel of the same title by Richard Llewellyn. It stars Walter Pidgeon, Maureen O'Hara, Anna Lee, Donald Crisp, and a young Roddy McDowall. And he was about 13 in this. Walter Pidgeon was also in Blossoms in the Dust, which is one of the other nominees this time. How Green Was My Valley tells the story of the Morgans, a hardworking Welsh mining family, from the point of view of the youngest child, Hugh, who lives with his affectionate and kind parents, as well as his sister and 5 brothers in the South Wales valleys during the late Victorian era. The story chronicles life in the South Wales coal fields, the loss of that way of life, and its effects on the family. Fictional village in the film is based on Gilfach Gauche. I'm definitely saying that wrong, where Llewellyn spent many summers visiting his grandfather, and it served as inspiration for the novel. The author had claimed that he based the book on his own personal experiences. This was found to be untrue after his death. Llewellyn was English-born and spent little time in Wales, though he was of Welsh descent. Llewellyn gathered material for the novel from conversations with local mining families in the town. It was nominated for 10 Academy Awards, winning 5, famously beating Citizen Kane, Sergeant York, and The Maltese Falcon for Best Picture. In 1990, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry. The Academy Film Archive preserved How Green Was My Valley in 1998. I will say the YouTube version was a very crisp copy, so I don't know where that was pulled from, DVD or Blu-ray possibly. It was nominated for Outstanding Motion Picture, which it won, Best Director for John Ford, which it won, Best Supporting Actor for Donald Crisp, which it won. He played the patriarch of the family. He was very good. Best Supporting Actress for Sarah Allgood, Best Screenplay for Philip Dunn, Best Art Direction, Interior Decoration, Black and White, which it won, Best Cinematography, Black and White, which it won, Best Film Editing, Best Scoring of a Dramatic Picture, and Best Sound Recording. Cinematography by Arthur C. Miller, edited by James B. Clark, music by Alfred Newman, produced and distributed by 20th Century Fox. Released on October 28th, 1941, with a runtime of 118 minutes. So a couple of things. One, it's, it says in the description there, it takes place in Wales, which when it first started, I thought it was in England, but the accents they all had were sort of reminded me of like Scandinavian, and maybe that's just sort of the Welsh accent. I'm not sure, but I was like, where is this set? And I had to look it up, and it said Wales, and I was like, okay, so I was right, but it the accents just threw me off a little bit. John Ford. I know John Ford is an acclaimed director, but I have not loved all of his movies that I've watched during this. And this is maybe the 4th. Let me take a quick look here and see how I rated things for his movies. So the first of his movies that I watched would have been the 1931 film Aerosmith, which I gave 3 stars. Not bad. It had Ronald Colman in it. He was in several movies that were nominated. The Informer, 1935. I don't often say I hate a movie, but I really didn't like this one. I gave it 2 stars, The Informer. So far, not a great track record for me and John Ford. So then we get to 1939 and Stagecoach, which I was not expecting to like. Gave it 3 stars. Grapes of Wrath in 1940. Gave it 4 stars. That one I liked a lot. Good performances. How Green Was My Valley? 3 stars. So a couple of things. One, going into this, knowing that this was the winning movie over Citizen Kane, and I didn't love Maltese Falcon that much. Like, it was fine. I think I gave that 3 stars as well. Citizen Kane is one of my favorite movies. You can call that cliche or whatever you want, but you like your movies, I'll like mine. So going into this, I felt a little like Yosemite Sam, where I was like, Wreckin' Frackin' movie better than Citizen Kane, or whatever, like grumbling under my breath that there's no way that this movie is better than Citizen Kane. And I tried really, really hard to stay focused on this movie. It was well acted, well directed. It looked very good. It was very slow, though. It was just, to me, it was kind of boring. And that, doesn't necessarily make it a bad movie. If you're bored, then you're boring. Maybe it's me, but it was fine. Like, I didn't hate it. Very good performances. It was just kind of like, okay. Citizen Kane is just to me is a much better, it's a more compelling movie. And I'm sure plenty of people would say that is boring too. And they love How Green Is My Valley, was my valley. So I get it. It's subjective. And all of this is kind of in hindsight too. At the time, this is what the Academy picked over Citizen Kane. In retrospect, Citizen Kane is considered possibly the greatest movie ever made. So, take that with the grain of salt. But I definitely don't feel like this was. So, if we're talking snubbed movies, Citizen Kane, snubbed, but at least it was nominated. So, that's something. So, yeah, this was fine. It was not the best picture. I liked Blossoms in the Dust better than this one. And obviously, I like Citizen Kane better than this one. This was not a fantastic round. What did I give a one to? A 1 Foot in Heaven. What was that? So here's the breakdown. How Green Was My Valley, 3. Blossoms in the Dust, 4. Citizen Kane, 5. Here Comes Mr. Jordan, 3. Hold Back the Dawn, 2.5. 1 Foot in Heaven, 1. Sergeant York, 3. Suspicion, 3. The Little Foxes, 2.5. And The Maltese Falcon, 3. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't care for 1 Foot in Heaven at all. So, yeah, so, not the best round. I kind of knew going into this, as I said, that I was probably not going to think that anything was better than Citizen Kane, and maybe that biased me overall. But I definitely, How Green Was My Valley was not my favorite movie of this round. So I will leave it there. We got a snubbed movie coming up for the 1941 Oscars. Again, probably not better than Citizen Kane. And we'll see how that goes. And then on to the 1942 Oscars. I still have hope. So 1942, there's only 9 movies. We've had 10 movies a year for the last, when did that start? I mean, it started with, like 8 and then 10. We've had basically 10 movies for the last 9 years of Oscars. Next one is 9 and then back to 10. And then down to 5. So I really hope that I can get through these next 19 movies before the end of the year. Judging by my track record, though, my average days to finish. Let's look at the ones that were 10. And my average is 48 days. So probably not, because there's not 90 days left in the year. So we'll see. I'm going to try for it. I'll do my best. But I would really like to get through the end of 1943 so that I can start 2026 with the 5 movies per year Oscars. But time will tell. So that is all I have for this one. That is another year of movies down. Stay tuned for the snub movies and then on to 1942. See you next time.